All right, Chef, how are you doing? And we do have Iceman. Iceman, before I bring you on here, I'm gonna need you to be on your best behavior, and I want to bring you on because you were in locked up when Tim was locked up, and you do know him. And since we're gonna have the chef on here at the same time, but Iceman, I'm gonna need you to be kind, okay, sir? All right, Chef, go ahead.
Good evening, Phil. How you doing?
I'm doing just fine.
First, I want to say something about the Carlether case, then I'll get to Tim. I I think the case should be a civil case before it can be turned into a criminal case.
Mm-hmm.
Because this white boy done got a smart lawyer that can look over the statute saying it was a accidental death. So that's why the DA in Atlanta is not moving on the case, because you got a lawyer came up with a statute saying it wasn't no motive or it wasn't no intention of death. But if her mother get a lawyer that make a civil case out of it and make the DA change it into a murder charge, then it probably would be dropped to a manslaughter charge.
So you're saying they need an attorney to file civil charges against him before he's...
That's what Ben Crump do. Ben Crump is not a criminal lawyer. He's a civil lawyer. Al Chapman is just a civil protester. So he takes civil case. He don't take criminal case. That's why they say that he don't take those kind of cases. But he can do it. If he sees that the prosecutor is not trying to prosecute this white boy cause for rape, then he can get in there and say that it's not right. You know, when Ben Trump get into a case, he get into a case to win money for himself. He don't get into a case to try to prosecute somebody that's go against the prosecutor for somebody that can kill somebody. He get into the case where he's gonna get paid money, but it money don't come from the like her mother. She's not gonna pay him. Ben Trump will get paid through a lawsuit,
okay.
A civil lawsuit.
Okay.
That's how he get his money.
Okay, Chef, you not only cook, but you got help us in other areas, and I sure do appreciate it.
So all the emails and the letters being wrote, they won't help unless she form a group of people
Mm-hmm.
to go to Atlanta and demand that this man be charged with something, if it ain't nothing but manslaughter or whatever, because he did commit murder.
So people are saying get an attorney. She's been trying to get an attorney. No attorney wants to take it. She's trying to get an attorney. She is trying to get an attorney, but no one has been willing to take the case yet, and I just don't understand it. Go ahead, Chef.
Well, it can be.
I have to step away for a minute.
It can be a civil suit if she feels that the prosecutor is not trying to prosecute for racist reasons. Because now, if he got a smart lawyer that came up with a statute that he was intentionally and that he didn't intend to do that, then he can be charged with a lesser charge such as manslaughter, since he didn't intend. It wasn't no motive. He didn't have a motive. He didn't have no reason to commit that further on to go off and kill that young lady. But he needs to be held accountable for something that he did. If it's not a murder charge, it needs to be a manslaughter or something for somebody can have peace of mind.
Okay.
So it is going to be hard. It is going to be hard to prove that we intend to commit murder.
Okay.
It's going to be hard to prove that.
Okay. I see
because he's saying that he in another room and he was cleaning his gun and the gun accidentally went off. So that's an accidental death. So an accidental death can be turned into manslaughter. So that's why Dan Crump is not going to take that case because there's nothing in it for him. He got to have money. And nobody like Florida case, all them cases that were he sued the city. What he do? He sued the city of the town, like the state, whoever, versus like George Floyd. He sued the state of Minnesota. No, the state of Minnesota, and he got paid. Like Michael Ferguson, like in Ferguson, when whatever his name got killed, he sued them. He got paid. He sued for something that he knows that he's gonna get paid in. Now he loses some now, but he wins both stuff. That's more of a lawyer he is. Like she told too, he don't take those kind of cases. But it's in Atlanta. You have to look up the statute. They have to go by the Georgia statute in order to charge that man with a certain charge. Now this white boy got a lawyer.
Defendant or Max? Let's just call him Max.
I'm gonna say the defendant. But he is a white boy.
Let's call him Max. Let's call him Max.
Okay. He is the defendant, but this defendant got a lawyer. He and he got a smart lawyer. He got a lawyer that looked in the law book and looked up the statutes and seen that the state of Georgia cannot prosecute this man for murder. He didn't look. Now this lawyer didn't look this up because all the elements have to be there. He has to have a motive. He got to have an intent, and he got to have the reason why he wanted to do this. But all the thing he's saying, he was cleaning his guns was can nobody prove that he wasn't. And that's why the case is so hard to bring to court.
Mm-hmm.
If you just look at it now, you got to look at the statute. You got to go in your law book. Look up the Georgia law. Look up the Georgia law and find your statute for. If you're trying to get them charged with murder, you got to find a statute for murder, and you got to prove every element. You got to prove every element in that statute in order for you to convict the person of what you want to charge them with.
Right.
That's just like if I break in your house. Now I'll use this for an example. If I break in your house and I get caught with some of your stuff, but I'm not in your house, and they can't charge me for breaking your house because they didn't prove that I was inside your house. You have to, I can have your TV in my hand, and your doors can be kicked out, or your windows can be broke. But if they don't catch me inside your house, and the element that would be the drill.
But you know what? I'm sorry, Shell, but they charged him with something. They charged him with two things initially, and he is out on a $30,000 bond right now, or bail, or whatever you call it.
Well, that's what you got to get.
They did. That's the thing is, it was reckless. I cannot think of the name of it, but I have the records. I don't have them pulled up, so it would take me too long.
It could be reckless homicide.
No, it wasn't homicide. I think it was manslaughter and something else.
That's what I'm saying. Manslaughter. It could be reckless homicide or manslaughter.
Miss Jackie, if you're listening, hold up, Miss Jackie, if you're listening, drop it in the chat, because they did charge him with two things, and then they let him out on bond or bail or whatever which one it is. So they did charge him. That's what I'm not understanding. They did charge him.
But he hadn't been to court.
But they haven't gone. They said the grand jury, they got to get an indictment, but they already charged him. That's what I don't understand.
Well, if he's been charged with it, then he got to go. See, it's not about the bond. No, he can get $1 million bond. He can get $1 million bond and still pay $20 to get out on $1 million bond if he knows a good bail bond. But the thing is, if he charged with reckless homicide or manslaughter, you're gonna have to wait for that day come before the defendant go to court.
But they charged him with something. Is all I'm saying. They charged him with something.
Do we have a trial date?
No, that's it. He has not had they just let him out, and nothing has been said since. Reckless endangerment. They charged him with reckless endangerment or something.
That's what Miss Jacqueline is gonna have to get her a group of people instead of sending emails and letters, people have to go to Atlanta herself and talk
that's
to
what
the
we're
DA.
trying to do. That's what we're trying to do.
But that's what it's gonna take. It's gonna take a group of people, cause they don't do nothing but throw letters away. They don't do nothing but set emails to the side and cause. But when you keep constantly going in their face, then they got pressure on them. Then they got to do something. They don't want nobody in their face. They don't want nobody in their face. So if he charged with something, then he got to go to court. Then the jury, and he probably gonna try to take a jury trial. And if I'm charged, probably it depends on what kind of jury he gets. He probably won't convict him. He get an all-white jury.
Right. Well, we're gonna see. We're not gonna give up.
I can't give up because. But what I'm saying, she can find a lawyer that'll turn it into a civil case, then it can just turn back into a felony. Cause right now it's somebody that they trying to let go because he got a good lawyer.
Okay. Hold on. I have someone from Atlanta calling. Hold on, Chef. Atlanta, are you there?
Yeah. Hey, Philly Phil. Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Hey. Yeah, I was just calling. I talked to you the other night. Actually, my name is Dr. Aisha. I've called in a couple of times. But I'm here in Atlanta, and I think Miss Jackie, has she thought about trying to reach out to Lucy McBath? She is a congresswoman representing parts of Gwinnett County. And, her son, George Davis, was killed by a white man because he was in a car and he said it was loud music. And I don't know if y'all remember that case. It was like kind of sometime after Trayvon, around that same time period. And so she's very active in gun violence and gun murder type of cases. And so she is the congresswoman that represents parts of that area.
Okay, and what's her name again?
Lucy McBath.
Lucy McBath. Okay.
Right. And then also Senator Raphael Warnock, he is the pastor at Ebenezer Baptist Church, which was Martin Luther King's church.
Uh-huh.
And he's very active in social justice issues here in Georgia and nationally. He is part of the Concerned Black Clergy, but I would say also reach out to the Concerned Black Clergy.
Well, I'm sure the family is listening, and, I'm sure they're going to do all that they need to do to get justice for dear sweet Carlether. And I appreciate you calling in and giving us that information.
Okay, and one more thing, also Roland Mark. So that might be that, they might be able to get, reach out to him also.
Yeah.
And then I just want to say, Philly Phil, I think a good name for the Phillettes, I think that's cute, but I think maybe some guys might feel funny about it. So I was just thinking that the Philly Phil Justice League, I think that sounds like a good name. That's just my opinion.
The Philly Phil Justice League Club, Philly Phil Justice League. Okay. I still like the Phillettes, though. Might just have to have us our own separate club of the Phillettes. No. Okay. But seriously, thank you, caller. I appreciate it.
You are so welcome. Okay. Oh, one more thing.
Uh-huh.
Phil.
Yes.
The Johnny Cochran Law Firm, they're also here. I think they have a branch here, so she might be also want to reach out to them, too.
Okay. Miss Jackie, I know you're listening. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Let Miss Loretta see if she has anything before we get into Tim Norman with Chef. Miss Loretta, what would you like to say on the everything we just talked about?
That it all boils down to exactly what I said. You need to know the enemy. If this is a year old and he was charged and he on bond, just like Chef say, they have court day. There's a law called speedy trial. So he has been to court. And the only way he hasn't appeared and they postponed it is that it has been dismissed. But you wouldn't know that unless you have someone like a private investigator, which is what I said the first night, finding out what is going on with the case. You need someone who can say that, yes, the case is still pending. No, the case is dismissed. He could have been charged out on bond and case is over with, which is why you don't get nothing from anybody. Because anytime there is a court date, all important parties are supposed to be notified. And if they know to notify someone, like, is the family's name within the court system? That's where your lawyer comes in at. Keep you abreast of court dates and court appearances. And as Chef said, if he's not charged with a crime, then you need to charge him civilly. And once an investigator show, yeah, he did have malice, or one time he followed her, or 2 or 3 times he harassed her, or he would dial her number, ping, ping, Tim, ping, all this stuff plays a part. What an investigator can find out for you, whereby charges can be brought if they're not. But there has to be some digging, some real digging, in order to bring this thing to fruition. Because right now, anybody can get arrested for a traffic ticket and get out on bond. And next thing you know, when you make that appearance, it's thrown out. And you don't even have to make the appearance if you got a smart lawyer. The lawyer can appear for you. So we need to know what's what, and you can't know it without information. That's getting to know your enemy. Know what was he charged with? Did he ever have a court date? A whole year, no court appearance? None? That doesn't even sound right.
That's crazy.
So we need to know what's going on.
All right, Miss Loretta. Thank you once again for your wisdom. It makes a lot of sense. Okay, Chef. So you heard the live last night. There's been a lot of documents dropped on Tim Norman. The Tim Norman case. They dropped the witness list, the expert witness list. They talked about the autopsy and all of that good stuff. We still don't know who that unindicted, unnamed person is that delivered that $5,000. They didn't give us that witness list from the homies from around the way. They gave us the experts. So what would you like to say about that?